Hey everybody, a new episode of Crying in My Car is starting right now. On this episode, we're going to talk about a surgery that I had and why me being out of the classroom was the best thing for my time off and why it should change for teachers everywhere. Then there's a housing project in Honolulu where they want the teachers to live on campus. I'll take the surgery. And the last thing we're going to talk about is potty training. How similar is it to teaching? Well, stick around because there's a lot of laughs to be had on this episode of Crying in My Car, a podcast for teachers. Everybody, welcome to Crying in My Car, a podcast for teachers. I'm Devin Siebold. Good buddy, James Jan, over in the other seat over there. You're so far away.
I know.
Before we used to sit on each other's laps in those car seats. I know. I don't know.
That was the weirdest lap dance.
Right? I always felt weird after we do a show. I'd have to tip you. I'm like, why? This doesn't feel right.
But now I'm so far just in this. Like, yeah.
You could even be further. We're on green screen, so like you could be in Delaware. I'm in Delaware. Nobody recognizes that joke from
they don't.
Wayne's World. I'm getting old. Be sure to find us patreon.com/crying in my car. If you want to support the podcast, we're on our own now. We're doing it. We're swimming out in Delaware, and we are here for your laughter. Hopefully you're on your way to school, had a stressful yesterday, and today you're like, you know what? Today's going to be better. Why? Because you're starting your day with Crying in My Car. And if you can't subscribe, go ahead and share. Hit that 5 stars on the reviews on the Apple iPods. Let people know, hey, Crying in My Car is where it's at. Now, James,
yes.
I'm a little out of sorts today.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if you can they green screen my hair to be more Tom Cruise?
Coiffed, if you will.
I don't know. Yeah, but I had the surgery done.
Yeah.
And they were all booked up. You know, I was trying, so I was off for the winter break. Same winter break that teachers enjoyed. Mm-hmm. The only opportunity I had was literally on the Wednesday coming back from Christmas vacation. Mm-hmm. The teacher's literally second day of school there.
Yes.
First day of school was Tuesday. Mm-hmm. Our school system that I taught at would have penalized me a day of pay.
Because
I had that surgery, because I had to go.
Yes.
You just don't have excuses. You can't do it. I would have had to schedule it for a different time. Well, that whole time my face is, swollen. I'm infected. I'm not happy when I'm in there teaching.
It doesn't even matter. It's an emergency.
So it's dependent on FMLA and what they'll classify as
an emergency.
Yeah, but even then, it's so wild, man. Because like FMLA, like our school district, it was so weird. You could have an emergency, but then send in the FMLA paperwork afterwards, and they gave you a hard time. It's like, I didn't know there would be an emergency.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
And
they'd be like, no, you got to submit. This has to be approved beforehand. Yeah, let me talk to my appendix and be like, hey, can you give me a 3-week window that you're going to burst?
Yeah.
But like, we just with sick leave and stuff. I was looking through the teachers in the news today. There was teachers denied sick leave, teachers being fired. Last week we talked about the girl that the concerts.
Yes.
But they're diving into that. They're digging in. Let a person have a day, to recover. I always thought it was so weird that they'd be like, yeah, you just can't take this day off. And I'd be like, I get it, but to be honest with you, the day before a break, they're like, yeah, day before a break, you can't take off. Day when you get back, you can't take off. And I'm like, literally, those are the days I would want the teachers to take off more, because those are movie days.
Yes.
Those are the days where it's like
nothing's going on.
Yeah, nothing's going on.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man, the whole time I was just thinking about it. I was in there and I was just like, man, if I was on my old school schedule and time, the amount of sick days that my kids have had this year, they had the flu a while back, and the amount of sick days that I've had. I caught a really bad cold for a real long stretch, and then I had surgery. And plus, not only that, but like the original diagnosis. People forget, like the original diagnosis, I had to go to the doctor.
Yes.
Then I had to get referred to a specialist.
And go to another doctor.
Then I had to go to the consultation for the specialist.
Correct.
Then I had to go to a CT scan. Then I had to go to a 3D X-ray scan and an MRI or whatever the heck they did, and do all the blood work too. I had to go down to the diagnostic center and do the blood work.
That's correct.
That's all time off. And what really bothers me is like when I first started teaching, I thought it was actually really good in the sense that you could do time off by the hour. And I don't know if school districts still do this. Let me know in the comments if you do.
Really? You could just take off a certain amount of hours?
So I could literally go in and say, I'm not going to be here from 9 to 11.
Okay.
And I need coverage for that. Then they switched it to half day, full day only.
Okay.
I imagine they'll eventually just go full day only.
Pretty much.
But I liked that because I could literally take an hour, go to my doctor's appointment and come back and still be there.
That's not bad.
And sometimes it was even like during planning, and I was just like, I just need to make sure that somebody's going to be in there in case I'm not back in time. I'll take full 2 hours just in case, but it's like so wild to me, man, that they're so strict on that stuff, and that it's for our personal health.
Yes.
And the wild thing is I've never understood why they're so strict on your health. And do things that are so detrimental to your health, such as every health study ever says school should not start before 8 o'clock.
No.
Or even 9 o'clock sometimes, depending on the school.
I so agree with that.
That hurts your health.
Yes.
There's so many things that within school that we have that causes health problems.
Agreed.
And yet, the school districts always go, our health insurance is going up again. And
you're like, the one I can't use?
It's like, yeah, I know. But they
Yeah.
go, the health insurance is going up again. And it's like, the health insurance is going up because you have a lot of teachers that are not healthy because of the stuff that you're putting on them.
That's correct.
And
it's a cycle. It just keeps feeding into it. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
man.
vicious.
But I was very fortunate that I'm, touring and doing speaking in schools and had a little bit of leeway. But even then, it was a short window. And if that hadn't been available for me, I would have just been in pain too. But I was just thinking, man, my old school schedule couldn't have done it. And I got a whole lot of respect for those teachers out there that are able to make that happen.
And I'm actually curious. I'd love to hear from our actual listeners and you guys out there in the YouTube land. Tell us how you guys deal with going to appointments, period.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do? Like, do you just like, man, I'm just going to live with this until spring break or summer or winter? Like, what do you guys do to get around that? Or some of you might actually teach us schools where they're like, yeah, of course, take time off.
Right.
Your health is important.
I don't know how many school districts have this, but one thing my school district did implement that I really enjoyed was we had a school county clinic that had established doctors at it.
Okay.
And I really liked the doctors there. I thought they were very friendly. They had lab work available to you if you drove to.
Oh, you can actually do labs as well.
Yeah, but it was a little bit of a drive,
Okay.
but they did have a center in the county where you could do lab work. Here's the thing. The place is open from school hours. Essentially, the last 2 hours of the day, from the 3 to 5, it was open. That's not school hours, but packed. Good luck getting in.
Yeah.
Because every teacher only has a 2-hour window.
So they're there.
Yeah. So I think it should be maybe shift the hours a little bit later or have a weekend clinic. I mean, occasionally I think they were open on Saturdays. But yeah, stuff like that,
It helps.
Look out for the teachers. And I think those countywide clinics, man, that was a big help.
I bet
will
it
say,
was.
because there was no copay there. And so I could go do
A doctor visit with no copay.
regular checkups.
What?
And, I don't feel well. Let me go get let me get a prescription. Let me get that. So that was one of the things that I kind of enjoyed. I thought was
That's not bad. Yeah.
Nah, that wasn't bad at all.
It's good.
All right, James, time to jump into the teachers in the news.
And of course, it's all good news.
Always.
Okay.
We have an interesting data hack in the world of teaching. It's a big deal. It's going across the interwebs, but it's kind of, a little scary. There was Power School. A lot of schools use Power School for their grades, attendance, teacher, contacts and things like that for students and teachers. Power School admitted to a hack that allowed an agent to steal the info of students and teachers. Yes, and the stolen student data and teacher data included names, addresses, and social security numbers, with the info primarily being students and teachers. And so there was a big data hack, and they're trying to figure out exactly who it went to, who has all the information, and what they're going to do with it. It's, to be honest with you, it's very scary because they have a real chance here with teachers and students to steal the identity of a group with a combined credit score of 400. So a lot of damage could be done here. Might as well hack Big Lots servers. Like, what are you trying to get out of this?
I didn't want to be insensitive, but that was my first thought. Like, what are you going to do with teachers' info?
Are you aware that your child was absent 3 days ago? I have that information in front of me. A set of skills that I've acquired over the years.
The parents like, yeah, because I didn't want to take them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know.
It's so funny to me because like sometimes I see them try to steal my stuff, you know,
God.
But it's funny the way they try to do it. Like they tried to target my Xbox account all the time. I always get password resets for my Xbox Live account. And I'm like, dude, I have a gamer score of like 600,000. Do you think I've ever spent time building a career or my credit? Like, I'm building Mordor. Why would I? Are you gonna steal my Roblox? What are you trying to get out of this?
This is my life.
I don't know.
I don't have anything else.
I don't understand the stealing of the Microsoft account.
Yes.
What
are you gonna do with a Microsoft account?
I don't know, but yeah, I mean, going back to the power school, these companies really, I mean, they're dealing with a lot of sensitive information, and they really need to lock it down. A lot of schools go for lowest bid, but lowest bid usually means the lowest security.
Yeah,
that's the kids' info. I mean, that should be something that kids and teachers need protection because we already saw. Remember what happened in California?
Yes, sir.
With those tax returns.
Yes.
Teachers had already filed their tax returns, and they're like, I didn't file a tax return. And I don't know. We need to do a follow-up on that. I want to see if they ever got their money.
Gotcha. Get what you pay for.
A place that I recently toured with the Board Teachers Comedy Tour in Honolulu.
Okay.
Honolulu. That is where I went, and it was beautiful. Outstanding area. Hawaii, just obviously immaculate.
Yeah.
Really industrial. I didn't think it was like as industrial. I don't know. I didn't expect like you land and you're like, is that TJ Maxx?
Thank you for saying that.
I don't know.
The first time I went to Hawaii, I was like, this is going to be amazing. It's going to be a tropical paradise.
Yeah.
I get off the actual cruise ship
And
and
Waffle
I'm like,
House.
that's a Waffle House and a TJ Maxx? And I'm like, is that an O'Reilly Auto Part?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're expecting this big guy with no shirt on, looks like Maui from
Dave's
Moana.
Coconut Emporium.
Yeah. None of that, man.
None of that.
It looks just like what you would expect in the States.
It's like somebody took Dayton, Ohio,
Correct.
and put a volcano behind it.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow.
Added a pineapple.
Yeah. But that's the city.
That's the city.
Outside of
Yeah.
the city, absolutely beautiful. In the city, good people. I enjoyed,
No, they
enjoyed
were
the
great,
vibe, man.
but it wasn't what
awesome.
I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, so in Honolulu, there is a teacher housing project that is experiencing delays after teachers expressed concerns.
Okay.
The project was apparently going to be built over a student garden. And it was a housing project that they wanted to build on existing school land on school property.
Okay.
And they were going to build an apartment complex right next to the school. Mm-hmm. But apparently there was a student garden, so the teachers have fought back and they have decided to move the housing project. And also, the teacher that sponsored the student garden is now being named Teacher of the Millennium in Honolulu because... Let me tell you right now, they just saved the teachers from living on campus.
Yes, I was going to say, that's probably not what they want.
They said the delay could expand the project another 2 years, but also expand the teacher's lifespan another 20 if we get it off property. They're like, yeah, we found a place down the road. It's like, great. And they're like, it's in the volcano. Fantastic.
Perfect. Yes.
I like it.
Could you imagine having the roughest day of your life at school and be like, I got to go home next door? Yeah.
The housing project, the teacher housing project being built on school grounds is the most absurd idea I've ever. A teacher wants to live on school grounds like the Wicked Witch of the West wants a houseboat. What are you thinking?
Yes, that's.
Anyways.
And I don't think every teacher wants to live near teachers.
No.
There's some of those teachers you're like, I need to get away from you too.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I agree. But I mean, and plus, it's the kids know where you live.
That's true.
Yeah, and plus, if you're sick, can you imagine trying to leave your home?
You
called out sick.
You can't.
And you're like, oh, I just need to go get some food at public. As soon as you leave, the prince will be like, oh, what the heck? Are they leaving?
Yeah. An alert goes off.
Yeah, they're just sitting there with their binoculars. As soon as I see that blind crack, I'm calling them in. Or like that you didn't leave lesson plans. It's like, hey, Stevie, 303, go knock on their door, see if they can make some lesson plans for you. Print them down real quick and come. You'd always be on call.
Yes, you would be. Yes, you would be.
I would hate every second of that.
Not a good idea.
Anyways, all right, in New Jersey. There's an interesting debate. We've talked about this briefly before, but now it's become a debate on X. New Jersey has officially announced that they are parting ways with the basic skills reading test requirement to become a teacher in New Jersey.
Okay.
And the X overlords are furious.
They are.
For those of you that have been under a rock for the past year, X is Twitter. And Elon tweeted out, so teachers don't need to know how to read in New Jersey? ?
Was that a real question?
That was a real question.
Wow.
He tweeted out the article and said, so teachers don't have to know how to read in Jersey. That's brilliant. In response,
Is it?
In response, the spokesman from the New Jersey Teachers Union said, to become a teacher in New Jersey, candidates must complete extensive college coursework, graduate from an accredited teacher preparation program with at least a 3.0 GPA, successfully complete months of classroom teaching experience, and pass a rigorous praxis subject area exam based on their particular area of certification. The additional requirement to pass the praxis basic test did nothing to elevate standards and amounted to a corporate money grab from the pockets of successful college graduates trying to enter the teaching profession. To which Elon responded, "Man, I can't read all that." What are you talking about? That's some big words, bro.
That's a lot of words
Chill
in
out.
there.
Let's bring it down to a level 2. Let's level 2
That's
reading
funny.
on that one. So yeah, that is the teachers in the news.
Well done, sir.
But
Well
I
done.
agree. I agree. On a side note, I do agree with New Jersey. This basic skills test. I mean, I had just left college
Okay.
with a 3.6 GPA.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to teach, I had to pass a subject area exam to let them know that I obviously was ready to go for history.
Yeah.
And then I had to pass the reading and math general knowledge exam.
Okay.
But I feel like if you get to that point, that should be just like, okay, you do know how to read, you know?
Yes.
You had to pass all those exams.
Yes.
You have a GPA, and you plus are doing all this extra coursework. I mean, I had already done a full year of student teaching in the classroom. And then they're like, so now we need to know if you can read.
After all
like,
that.
what?
Wait a minute. Yeah.
It's been a year.
Yeah.
And it was $100 or so to do this test. And there was a lot of people that did not pass it because it was exceedingly hard. It was meant to be hard so that you would keep forking over the $100 over and over and over again.
Okay.
And they made so much money off of an additional barrier. And so New Jersey said, no. And he said it's a money grab for the pockets of successful college graduates into corporate profits. That's all.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Why don't I already know how to read? You know I know how to read. So
Yeah.
This is all a scam.
It is. I agree. All right, James.
Yes.
You have an interesting topic for us today.
I do.
Let's get down and dirty.
That's if we will. Now, as a parent, Devin, I've come across some interesting school rules for my children.
Have you?
Like, do you remember in Florida when everybody went?
They have to be there?
all the time, every day,
What?
though? Like,
No.
yeah. On time?
Yeah.
Yeah. You remember when in Florida when they went to school uniforms?
Yeah.
They tried to make everybody's life a little bit easier. Everybody would wear the same thing. All right. I remember that was quite interesting, but I've never heard an interesting rule like this. A district in South Wales Valley says teachers and school staff will no longer change students' diapers who soil themselves. Yes, because of a very high level of kids coming to school in diapers.
Yeah.
Now, over in South Wales in England, you can be 3 years old when you start your education process. A lot of the kids, 3, 4, 5, and even 6 years old, are not potty trained when they go to school over there, which I find weird because we started potty training our kids at the age of 1.
Yeah.
That's when we started with all our kids. What age did you potty train your kids? You remember?
2 and 3, but Liam was a late bloomer when it came to that.
Gotcha. Okay.
There was a lot of effort.
And it's all in their time.
Yep.
Everybody develops a little bit different.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but kids are going to school and they're 4 and 5 and they're not potty trained. So the teachers, if there was an accident, would have to change the kid.
Correct. Yeah. Most preschool and kindergartens. Yeah, for sure.
And most schools, like you said, but this school said enough. No, you guys, we've got to find a way to get, parents interested in actually potty training their kids. So they came up with this rule. The parents will then have to leave their job or their home, wherever they may be, and come to the school and change their kid.
I'm not against it.
Okay, but there is some flaws.
Because I don't know. I don't know that there are flaws. The reason is we have to put responsibility in the hands of the parents who are not taking the responsibility on for themselves.
Gotcha.
I mean, I've never, I think maybe like, I don't know, 5 times at most have I ever gone to a restaurant and been like, here, play this. I sit across from my kids and I talk to them, even when they were real young.
You didn't engage. You don't just hand them stuff.
Yeah, and it's like you engage, you talk, you do things. I mean, every single day I do stuff with my kids, and Kate or myself sit at the dinner table and we talk.
Yes,
and we have a family meal.
We did that as well.
We go over homework and where do you need? We're doing flashcards with Liam because he's falling behind in his multiplication. So we're trying to we're doing our work. That starts from birth.
Yes.
And some parents, I don't think, are ready for it, and they neglect.
Yes.
And they think that it's kind of an easiest pathway. It's so easy to go, take it off, put it back on.
Yeah.
Then go, ooh, a mess. I have to clean up all that. Oh, how do I and talking to your kid, do you feel anything? Can we go? Maybe let's try here. There's an effort that has to be made.
Proactive
and I don't
approach.
think that the effort is made early enough. I don't think that the effort is made consciously enough. And I don't think it's made with the effort that we used to see in the past. Mm-hmm. And teachers are having to recover from that.
They are.
The kindergarten teachers, preschool teachers are like, come on, this is not a daycare.
It's not. And that's what parents are thinking. And parents are actually waiting for the teachers to teach their kid how to potty train.
Yeah.
Which is insane, by the way. From a parent's stand view, I would never want people touching my children in certain ways. Mm-hmm. And you're opening the door to that if you're waiting for them to potty train your kid.
Yeah, that's true.
I think and they're not accusing anyone of doing that. Just as a parent, I just wouldn't want that.
You want to parent. You want to be the one to do the things that are expected of you. So, I mean, I'm not against what they're trying to do over in the UK. Call the parent, have them come in and change the diaper. But I'm guarantee these parents are outraged.
They are. Yep. Some parents, they're doing it, though. They're actually showing up. But here is the problem where
they are. I guarantee they're sitting there going, this is ridiculous. Did you just pee yourself? Sorry. Hold on. I got to tweet this out. Yeah. Just figure it out.
That's so funny. So like I said, the policy states that parents will be expected to go to school and change their kid's diaper. Now, here's the problem, though. How long are you giving the parent to get there? How long does a kid have to sit in a soiled diaper?
That's the
other part of
trauma.
it. Yeah, that is trauma.
I mean, I think that you should. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I totally agree. You've got to potty train your own kid, parent. You shouldn't be waiting for a teacher to do that. But there is going to be some kind of, timetable that you have to have.
Well, I mean, there's a psychology behind it. I used to study. I did 4 years of psychology in college, and did psychology of children. And wedding can be very psychologically traumatizing for them, especially if it's met with shame. You have the shame versus autonomy roles that they try to play. Sorry if you're not familiar with this stuff. It's really cool. I think that helped me as a parent. I think every single parent in the entire world should be forced to learn about the psychology of their kid and what roles they're playing, what identity versus role confusion, where they're at in their stages, so that you can better combat that and go, oh, okay, I recognize this stage that you're going through. Here's 2 paths that you can take. Here's the path that I think is best for you, and let's go ahead and steer that direction. Got it. So when my kids would wet themselves, I would not shame. There's no shame, because then it turns into a a very negative experience, and they can grow up and have sexual deviation and things that are out of the norm from the shame they experienced as a young age.
But would you go the other way when they actually did it? Would you do a lot of positive reinforcement,
Absolutely.
like your reward and whatnot? Yeah,
absolutely.
Because they'd search for that, they'd seek that out.
Yep.
Like, I want to do that right, so I get the same positive, affirmation.
Yeah, I mean, my kid right now, we're struggling with eating. There's one child that will not eat. He just doesn't eat a lot, and we're trying to get him to grow, and he's growing. But we're like, come on, man.
But you're concerned.
Yeah, get to eat. So it's not like forcing him to eat. It's like, wow, a quarter of the way done with that cheeseburger, amazing.
You're killing it.
Yeah, dude. I think you can get halfway done in the next 10 minutes. This could be a new record for you. And then it's.
Yeah, then they want to get that praise
right.
more. I've never had that problem with my children at all.
Just one,
buddy, 2 burgers. You are killing it.
Yeah, you're over there like, slow down, please,
breathe. Yeah, yeah. So it got me to thinking as I'm looking at this story over there in Wales. What's the right age to potty train, you think? And you said you started around 2, 3.
Yes, I mean, but honestly, I think 1 is now.
I think you started 1.
Yeah, well, you start like late 1, like first birthday, I think.
Yes,
and then you, but it's like just getting them the idea of it and getting them used to sitting or standing, near the toilet.
It's going to be a process.
Yeah, I mean, really the acclimation to it of what it is.
And it got me to thinking, as a parent, you're a teacher to your kid. You are. And you have to teach your kid, how to actually potty train. And it got me thinking, I think that teaching and potty training have a lot in common. So I have the top 5 ways teaching is like potty training a child.
Okay.
Yes. All right. So I'm going to give you these and you tell me what you think.
Okay.
Very first thing, repetition is key. Now, just like a child needs to be reminded to use the potty, students often need repeated instructions to grasp new concepts.
Okay. I've got my top 5 as well.
Okay. So I just read your mind really quickly, or you want to go tit for tat?
We'll go tit for tat.
Okay, there you go, sir.
I also think that teaching and potty training are very similar,
yes.
and that the rich people always brag how easy it is, but we know you hired help. We know this. You didn't do it on your own. You didn't. Anyways.
That is a true statement, by the way.
It is a true statement.
Yeah. All
Next
right.
one.
Encouragement matters. A little praise goes a long way. Like we talked about, positive reinforcement can motivate both kids in the bathroom and students in the classroom.
Great.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's cute.
Thanks.
Adorable.
Thanks.
Teaching and potty training, very similar when it comes to changing the sheets. You have to change the sheets a ton when you first start out.
Yeah.
For the kids, it's the bed sheet. For the teachers, it's the pillowcase. Why did I do this to myself? So yeah, changing of the sheets, very necessary.
Oh, that's all right. Next one, patience is essential, Devin. Okay, both processes require a lot of patience. You may have some setbacks, but staying calm is crucial for success.
Right. And with teaching and potty training, there's only one guarantee, like death and taxes.
Yes.
Teaching elementary school.
Yeah.
And potty training, you will get peed on. I'm just letting you know.
Wait a
Death,
minute.
taxes, peed on. It's going to happen.
At what grade level does that stop?
Well.
Oh, moving on. Okay. Yeah. All right. You got to celebrate small wins. Okay. Whether it's a successful trip to the toilet or a correct answer in class, celebrating these moments keeps everyone motivated.
Yep. And also, number 4 for me, when you feel it, you always tell them, run, And I think that's the motto for potty training and on teachers on the last day of school. When you feel it, run. Just run.
Go.
Just go.
Go now. Don't wait. Don't look back. Don't look back. All right, last thing I have, how teaching a kid to potty train and being a teacher is just alike. Accidents will happen. Mistakes are part of both learning and growing up. Okay, it's important to handle them with care and humor to keep morale high.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes. I'm going to be real. When it comes to teaching and potty training with both of them, eventually you just say, I'm done. Watch Miss Rachel. Watch Miss Rachel. Miss Rachel's going to be on the TV and she'll show you. I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah. And
are you team? You ever heard of Miss Rachel?
I do know Miss Rachel.
Okay,
Yes.
just
yes.
checking.
As a parent, absolutely.
Teachers, parents, it's like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore.
Gotcha.
There's Miss Rachel for you.
There you go. I think we both can agree, though, when you're potty training a kid or you're a teacher in a class, you are going to have to deal with a lot of crap.
Yes.
That is it.
I mean,
that is it.
That's just the way it works.
Yeah.
It's always how it's going to be. All right, Mr. Yan, how can people find you online, my friend?
As always, you can find me at James Yan Comedian. That's on Instagram and Facebook, and now TikTok.
Find me online, devincomedy.com, teachersneedlaughter.com for the speaking engagements, and hopefully we'll see you out on the road.
Patreon, don't forget about Patreon.
Patreon.com/cryinginmycar. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode of Crying in My Car, podcast for teachers.